What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 10 team builder, taking on PokeFan and the Duke Blue Dragapults. Historically, we've done okay against PokeFan last season, and I think the season before that, though, weren't super great. We'll see how this one is. He's just sitting in 9th place, and we are currently sitting in second? No, we were in first at the end of the week, so we'll just go with that. I don't know. There's a few 7-3 teams at plus 20 above me, so I don't know if we'll even finish the week at 8-2 or 7-3. But either way, the 7th win against Sane last week was just absolutely massive. That pretty much guarantees us playoffs. We can clinch playoffs if we win this game. If I win, I'm into playoffs guaranteed. And I actually think it clinches for a few other people as well, potentially. But 8 wins would absolutely put us in playoffs at the end of this week. We may not even have to win another game to make playoffs. I think it would seem likely to me that you're not going to have a 7-win team missing playoffs this season, but it could be possible. Either way, I am still trying to win this game. There's no doubt in my mind about that. His team consists of Landorus Incarnate, Melodic, Metagross, Blissey, Galarian Slowbro, Abomasnow, Mega Mawile, Urshifu, Talonflame, Dusclops, and Togetic. His priority options are the Metagross with Bullet Punch, Abomasnow with Ice Shard, Mega Mawile with Sucker Punch, Urshifu with Sucker Punch, and Talonflame with Gale Wings. I guess technically Shadow Sneak on the Dusclops as well, but I don't think Dusclops is coming to this game. Hazard setting, he's got the Lando with Rocks, which probably won't carry Rocks, Metagross with Rocks, which seems like the more likely rocker, or Blissey with Rocks, which could also be rocker, and Mega Mawile with Rocks, so it's only Rocks, and it's on like Lando Mawile, neither of which really want to run it, so you're running it on like Blissey Metagross. I'm not even sure Metagross is coming to this, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Removal options, he's got the Lando with Defog, Talonflame with Defog, and Togetic with Defog. So he can't really keep his own rocks up very often if he wants to defog away. Togetic is never running boots, so that's something interesting. Talonflame could be running boots if Talonflame comes. 4 times weaknesses is the Lando to Ice, Abomasnow to Fire, Urshifu to Fairy, and Talonflame to Rock. A lot of those are covered up in other places, but the Fire weakness remains for the most part. It's really only the Melodic and the Talonflame that resist. And Metagross, Abomasnow, Mawile all being weak to it makes Fire a pretty decent typing to bring offensively against this team, especially if you can wear down Melodic faster. It's all better. Basically, once one of Melodic or Blissey dies, this team becomes infinitely easier to break, but the pair of them together provide you a really easy physical wall and a really easy special wall to absorb hits with. And that worries me a little bit in terms of how I'm going to be able to play this game. In terms of what I'm not expecting, it's really only Dusclops that I think stays on the bench. Anything else could come. My prediction would be his 3 big hitters, Lando, Mawile, Urshifu, Blissey, Melodic, and then insert a Pokemon here. Between, I think, Metagross, Galarian Slowbro, and Talonflame, and I'd be more worried about Galarian Slowbro and Talonflame of those two. I think both of those are really good picks against my team. I think Metagross is not so much. As much, I should say. And then Togetic you can throw in there if he really, really desperately needs a Mega Gyarados answer and he's not confident in the rest of his team's ability to do that. Then Togetic can kind of semi-okay deal with it. Okay. Sorry, just got home from work. Alright, first up on my side, Garchomp. We're bringing Garchomp. It has not come to very many games. I looked at this matchup and this is the first thing that I saw, and I was like, wow, this is an awesome Mon against this team, I thought at least. So, SD Dragon Claw Sub Earthquake. Sub is mainly there for Sucker Punch Mawile shenanigans. That's pretty much it. Also, potential, like, Blissey trying to Toxic, Melodic trying to Scald. I'm not sure if Scald will break my sub or not from Melodic. Presumably not, but there are opportunities to sub on some Mons that I'm faster than, that want to like burn me or Toxic me or whatever. SD, once I get an SD up, like things die. Things that are slower than me, which is everything not named Talonflame or Scarfers, they die pretty much, right? Like, I'm actually hard walled by Togetic, but I don't think Togetic is coming. I will have to watch out for that though if Togetic does come, because I am hard walled by it. But SD Dragonclaw can break everything besides that is immune to Earthquake or like resists Earthquake, i.e. Abomasnow, Lando, Talonflame, and then Earthquake just demolishes the rest of the team. It's not even remotely close. I am outspeeding Landorus and Carnate. Oh, well, Melodic and Blissey might have to... I don't know if Blissey will take a +2 hit, but Melodic should be able to take one +2 hit, so we have to worry about Ice Beam and whatnot. I've thought about changing Leftovers to Yachi, but since I'm running sub, I think that Leftovers is kind of worthwhile. Yeah, so I'm outspeeding Lando I, a little bit of HP, max attack. Tank Growth is a physically defensive set for the Urshifu and Mega Mawile. Should also be able to handle some variants of Talonflame. Talonflame doesn't really have the easiest time breaking things with its piss poor attack stat. It really needs an SD up to be able to, excuse me, do anything. Pardon me. I have knockoff just to get rid of items. Like it seems pretty valuable to me to get rid of items, especially if either of his Violite users do show up. I want to get rid of those Violites, get rid of a Blissey's Leftovers or Heavy Duty Boots or whatever, Lando's Life Orb, things of that nature. So I've got knockoff on here, Earthquake, and I'm running a little bit of speed for the Mega Mawile. I've done this in the past, and it's worked out beautifully. Against my team, I'm not really certain what you'd run speed on Mega Mawile for, right? Like, it's pretty much just for tank growth, so he could be running more speed than me, whatever. I'm only blowing 28 EVs on it, it's not that big of a deal. If he isn't, then I will outspeed him. If he's only running 20 or whatever, then I'll outspeed him, and I'll get an Earthquake off and hit it for quite a chunk of damage. If he is running speed for insert Pokemon here, Hitmonchan, like if I'm running like no speed Hitmonchan, he wants to outspeed Hitmonchan for some reason, by all means, go at it. Lose some of your bulk, you know? But that's what the Earthquake's there for. Leech Seed will get me a ton of recovery off of Blissey, but it's mostly just there to punish a lot of stuff that can kind of like switch in, and then I can get some HP back from it. Especially his non-wall mons will just get worn down quite quickly. I don't think that he can actually afford to run Wish Blissey against my team. It seems like my team is the one where he would not be able to do that. I think he's going to have to go soft-boiled, just because I punish switch-ins really hard. Like, all of my offense hits way too hard for him to try and wish up. Like, he's just going to sacrifice the Blissey to wish up one of the offensive mons, which I don't think is worth it against my team in particular, because his team's quite a lot fatter than mine. Mine's quite a lot more offensive, and I think I can break him before he'll be able to wish off. And then I have Toxic as the last move. Wear down Urshifu, wear down Talonflame, things of that nature. What I could be doing is running Rock Tomb. I'm opting out of it, but that is something that I could definitely be running instead of Toxic. Cinderace, I'm running Scarf, Cinderace. So, Scarf is kind of weird. I toyed around with a couple other sets, but they couldn't really beat Melodic anyways, so I figure my best bet is just to kind of like U-turn on Melodic most of the time. I wanted to have something that could outspeed Scarf Lando and Scarf Urshifu, and Cinderace fit the bill there. This spread that I'm running actually also outspeeds +2 Metagross, so if he's Weakness Policy Rock Polish, I will outspeed a Rock Polish Metagross with this, and I can Power Ball in the face. I really only needed U-turn, Low Kick, Power Ball, and Flare Blitz. High Jump Kick is not worth it to me because I think, well, I was kind of thinking if he does want to risk being Wish Blissey, he'll have Protect most likely, right? So I didn't want to like High Jump Kick through Protect and then not be able to live Urshifu Wicked Blow. In my game against Nacho, when Nacho has still had Urshifu, my Cinderace lived one from full against Scarf Urshifu, which is what I think he's going to bring. So if I can keep Cinderace healthy, then I don't need to worry about that. And Low Kick still should two-shot Blissey. Actually, it two-shot when I was Adamant, so I'm not sure if it's going to two-shot it now. It might need a little bit of chip before I can two-shot it now, but that shouldn't be that hard to get overall. Pyro Ball, and then Flare Blitz in case I like run out of Pyro Balls, or if I need to put myself into Blaze range or something along those lines, or if I just need like a more accurate fire move, then I have Flare Blitz as an option. So that is Cinderace there. Mega Gyarados, I looked a lot at Mega Gyarados, tried to figure out where I wanted to go with this one. I'm outspeeding No Speed Melodic, which should be more than enough investment to outrun Mega Mawile. I'm definitely, like I'm not outspeeding like max speed Mega Mawile, but I would speed Adamant Mega Mawile, which I think is more important than trying to outspeed Jolly here. And more importantly, I outspeed no speed Melodic, and I don't think you run speed on Melodic in this matchup. The big thing with Gyarados, you can't see it on the screen right now, right? But when I actually might need to be careful about Intimidate, but I'm running Intimidate for Mawile and Urshifu. But yeah, something to keep in mind is that I do have Mold Breaker when I Mega Evolve, and Mold Breaker Power Whip should just decimate the Melodic. You know, Marvel Skill does not break. Like Marvel Skill gets broken by Mold Breaker, and Power Whip will just smack in the face. I don't really think I can drop any of these, honestly. I thought about trying to fit Dragon Dance in here, trying to fit Sub on here, like a variety of extra moves that I could fit, but none of them work. So Waterfall will hit the Lando. It's a good neutral stab option against stuff that can tank Crunch. Urshifu, for example, Waterfall is really good against that, and the Talonflame. Power Whip is exclusively there from the Melodic. I don't know that I would click Power Whip against anything else. Earthquake is for the Mawile primarily, and then Crunch should be stronger against Galarian Slowbro and Metagross. And like Waterfall is a neutral option against Metagross where I don't have to proc Weakness Policy, although it should probably have something to hit Mega Gyarados if it's going to be a Weakness Policy sort of set, so it would have like Thunder Punch or Hammer Arm, one of those sort of things. Oh, excuse me, that I would have to watch out for. I'm running Max Attack Adamant, and then I wanted to have like a weird even number HP. 373 seemed to work out the best in terms of the calc. And then I put a little bit of Spit F investment in there so that it should look like an Earth Power from Lando I. Interestingly, Lando I cannot just lock into Earth Power against me because I do have the Gyarados that is immune until I Mega Evolve, so something to keep in mind there. Although I obviously won't be making use of Mold Breaker in regular form. Genesect is next. I'm running Genesect Burn Drive. This should actually be shiny now. I don't need it to not be shiny. I was originally like a weird rock polish set, but I changed a lot of stuff about this. So I'm running a mixed Technoblast Genesect again. Like I mentioned in the preamble, Fire is really good against this team, and I think that Fire Technoblast punishes things a lot harder. Normally I've been running like a Douse Drive sort of thing, but I think Talonflame threatens me enough anyways that I'm not really going to be able to like catch it switching in. I don't think you switch Talonflame into Genesect hard anyways. It's most likely Blissey. So I'm running mostly physical coverage for the Blissey. I think even a physically defensively invested Blissey, I should still get an attack download boost off of. So I'm running Leech Life, Iron Head, and U-Turn for that, and then I just have the Fire Technoblast to hit Mawile. That's why I'm more spec'd into attack rather than special attack. I'd also hit the Metagross. It should do a fat chunk of damage to both of them. It'll definitely kill Mawile, which is more physically defensive. So if I come in on Mawile, I'm getting a special attack boost and I can Technoblast it. If I'm coming in on Metagross, I should also probably get a special attack boost. It's got much higher physical defense. Steel types in general just tend to have higher physical defense, like Ferrothorn is sort of a standout that doesn't. Yeah, so that's pretty much the Genesect. I mean, there's nothing really special about Leech Life, Iron Head. Like, it's just dual stab, and then I have U-Turn for momentum. That's pretty much all there is to it. This is definitely a decent Togetic answer. He might have Flamethrower, depending. He definitely has to have Dazzling Gleam. If he's bringing Togetic, has to have Dazzling Gleam. Togetic might be the Wish Passer rather than Blissey, or he could also opt into Roost instead. But that, yeah, something interesting about that. Last but not least is Slowking. I've toyed around with a bunch of Slowking sets this week, but this is the one that I settled on. Culverberry with counter, so I can tank a Banded Wicked Blow from Urshifu, single strike. Sorry, Scarf Wicked Blow. I don't think I can tank Banded still. But I can tank a Scarf Wicked Blow from Urshifu from full, and I counter it and kill it in the face. Alternatively, knock off from Mega Mawile, counter it and kill it in the face. Mega Mawile also should not be able to kill me with a raw Play Rough, and I can counter it and kill it in the face. Lots of things going on there. Same with Metagross, dealing with it that way. I have Psyshock for Blissey. About it. That's the only reason Psyshock's there. Scald just to burn a bunch of stuff. I mean, I don't really care if I burn Melodic, right? Because he's going to be Flame Orb anyways, so whatever. Scald is there for that. And then Flamethrower for the Abomasnow. That's pretty much it with that as well, I think. I think Psyshock is also there for the Galarian Slowbro, and this is like kind of the Galarian Slowbro answer. I think I'm going to swap Flamethrower actually for Shadow Ball, knowing that this is the Galarian Slowbro check. And we're just going to go with it that way. So Yeah, that is the team. In terms of what I'm not bringing, Mimikyu is something that could definitely come. Melodic is a little bit too much of a stopgap for it, but Mimikyu definitely like bodies a lot of the rest of the team. Kecleon, there's just not any. Like Landoi is the only special threat to me, besides maybe Galarian Slowbro in some situations. Everything else is too physical, and I don't like Kecleon into physical attackers, so Kecleon's not coming. Thundy T is an interesting one. It speed ties Landoi, but it can't really hit Landoi back, and Landoi gets rock coverage to hit Thundy back, so it's sort of a weird thing going on there, but I also don't think that it can break through Blissey unless I'm like a bulk upset, and I don't really want to be physical. So just all of that compounding just made me not want to bring Thundy T. Hitmonchan, great at breaking Blissey, horrible at breaking pretty much everything else in the game here. Yanmega is an idea I toyed around with for a while as well, but I really, really, really think it's going to be Scarf Urshifu. Mike tried talking me out of it not being Scarf Urshifu. I just look at my team and I'm like, wow, Scarf Urshifu just clicks buttons, right? Like it outpaces the majority of things. You know, I'm not going to be, presumably in his mind, I'm probably not going to be Scarf Cinderace. I'm probably not going to want to be Scarf Garchomp against this team. So like it can outspeed most of everything. Obviously, I am bringing Scarf Cinderace. Mostly everything. I'm locked into not being Scarf Genesect because I have to hold an item, so he knows that he can outspeed me there. He outpaces Mimikyu by 1 point, Yanmega by 2. Like, there's just a lot of stuff going for Scarf Urshifu, and in particular, Dragon Dance Gyarados. He'll always have a check to Dragon Dance Gyarados, which I don't think that he does besides Scarf Urshifu. I don't think anything else on this team can check +1 Gyarados except for Scarf Urshifu, which is why I'm really, really, really confident that it's going to be Scarf Urshifu. And when I go into this game, I'm going to calc assuming that it is Scarf Urshifu. Okay, so that is going to be it from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys for the match against PokeFan and the Duke Blue Dragapults.